So Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White herself did not travel with the team to Chicago, which leads people to believe that she might not be there for the game, Hamby. But what does this mean for the Indiana Fever? What does this mean for the upcoming game in Chicago? And who will be stepping into this role? It is pretty obvious that...
What if I told you Caitlin Clark's next move isn't sinking three-pointers, it's calling the shots from the bench? Word is, the Indiana Fever might let her step into a coaching role for their next game against the Chicago Sky. Could she really be running the team from the sidelines? Did the coach just say, Caitlin, you're in charge? Get ready, this twist feels like something straight out of a sports comedy.
So, lads, basically, the Indiana Fever coach is like, well, we don't know. That's reality is, we don't know who's going to be coaching. We don't know whether Stephanie White's going to be coaching, but the plan is there if Stephanie White is not going to be there. And I think maybe...
So here we are, Caitlin Clark, fresh off an injury and barely back in uniform, might now be calling the plays too. Yep, from the court to the clipboard, like a mix of Phil Jackson and Ted Lasso. Why? Because head coach Stephanie White is nowhere in sight. She's not in the building, just gone. Did she get lost in some kind of WNBA time warp? Not quite. It's simply a classic case of can't make it, which in basketball talk usually means, let's act like this was the plan all along.
Okay, so first of all, we do not know why Stephanie White is going to be out. It is officially listed as personal reasons, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but back in October, she also was dealing with a tragedy, assuming it might have been like a close passing of someone to her, which was also around the time that she was in contention for being named head coach of the Indiana Fever. So that was probably a whirlwind of a time for Stephanie White. And first and foremost, we just want to make sure that she is doing okay and wishing her all the best, because it is not very common for a coach to miss a game. I don't think it happened once last season. It has not happened this season.
With Coach White out, you'd think the Fever had a solid backup plan, maybe even a third option. But nope. It looks like they skipped straight past plans B and C and said, hey, what if our rookie ran things? That's right, Indiana's coaching bench is so short right now, it's starting to feel like a neighborhood rec league. So who's unofficially, yet totally, taking charge with the clipboard? You guessed it, Caitlin, I've only been here 5 minutes, Clark.
About being away for a period of time. Which means, look, I'd say whatever reasons brought her to Indiana in the first place, like might take her out of a few games, might keep her closer to home, might keep her not going to games. And look, at the end of the day, there's more important things than basketball. And if that is the case, then obviously the it's just obviously like it is like they know what they're getting themselves into. They know what they're getting themselves into. They know what it is, and they know that they've got a good staff.
And this isn't just any game, this is the game. The one everyone's been waiting for, Clark versus Reese. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, round 2. The rematch in what could easily turn into a 10-part basketball showdown, ending in a championship, a documentary, and who knows, maybe even a Broadway musical. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, the Fever crank up the drama and say, what if Caitlin coaches herself too?
Hello everyone. So Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever, the head coach, will not be at tomorrow's game against the Chicago Sky. It's been cited for personal reasons. Who knows if somebody in her family is sick, mom and dad, maybe older, medical emergency, who knows. Hopefully even Stephanie's okay. But when it comes down to it, this upcoming game is a game. You got no Caitlin Clark, no Sophie Cunningham, but you never know.
Picture the locker room. Caitlin standing there like, all right ladies, we need to hustle on defense, crash the boards, and, can someone remind me what play number 3 is? I might have zoned out during that part of the meeting. And this isn't just any opponent. She's up against the Chicago Sky, led by Angel, block shots and egos Reese, who's probably watching this coaching shuffle thinking, oh, we're doing improved now. Reese has been waiting for this game since draft night. She's ready. She's locked in. She's got that I already know my celebration dance kind of energy. Meanwhile, Caitlin's on the sideline scribbling on the whiteboard like, okay, this one's called Please Don't Panic. If we just believe in ourselves, something good might happen. The assistant coach, who nobody really knows yet because she was just hired like 14 minutes ago, is standing nearby, nodding like, yep, sounds good, let's run that. At this point, Caitlyn's doing it all, running the offense, shouting out defensive switches, checking the water bottles, and reminding everyone she's also playing in the game. It's like putting the star of the school play in charge of directing, managing the costumes, and cleaning up afterward. Honestly, if someone rolls an ankle tonight, Caitlyn might end up playing Team Doctor 2.
Factors of tomorrow's game is the fact that Caitlin Clark, guys, is still, she is still out due to injury protocol, I believe she had a lower leg calf muscle strain, right? But there's been an update, she just updated everybody, the Fever fans and all the other WNBA fans about potentially coming back Tuesday, which is not tomorrow. But let's just see what Caitlin Clark has to say. This is an article brought to you by Sports Illustrated titled, Caitlin Clark shares update on her injury and potential return. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark offered an update on her quadriceps injury on Thursday.
Let's be real, the WNBA's had its share of drama lately, but this is Shakespeare in sneakers. Two rookie stars are about to go head-to-head on national TV, and one of them might actually be calling timeouts. Just imagine, it's the third quarter, and Caitlyn says, okay, I'm subbing myself out, coaching myself back in, and if we're still short on players, I'm bringing in my favorite snack. It sounds wild, but don't count her out. Caitlin Clark is built different. You don't make it through Iowa winters and come out average. You come out like Caitlyn, tough, focused, and somehow always in shooting range. So yeah, it might seem crazy to have her leading the team and coaching, but deep down, you know she's loving every second. She probably has a color-coded notebook titled, Things I Do Better Than Most Coaches, and it's at least 86 pages long. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is getting ready like a queen polishing her crown. She's got that look that says, you better show up, Coach Clark, or I'm dropping 20 and blocking your whole confidence. She's not just bringing talent, she's bringing energy, attitude, and a personal mission that could set the whole arena on fire.
They'll be all right. They got Stephanie White, and I understand Stephanie White is their coach. I think they'll be okay. If Caitlin was there, I'd be very confident. It's as simple as that. If Caitlin was there, I would be extremely confident that they would win this game. I would be super confident. However, without Caitlin, you know what? Ari McDonald's there. How much do we trust we put in Ari McDonald? A bit.
And the fans? Oh, they're loving every second. Twitter's in full meltdown mode. Analysts are already breaking down Caitlyn's coaching style like she's Popovich, only with better hair. Notice here, they'll say, how she calls for a high screen, glances at her Fitbit, then drills a logo 3 while somehow managing the substitutions. It's pure, beautiful chaos. It's reality TV in the form of a basketball game. It's everything we didn't know we needed. And we haven't even touched the bench reactions. You know there'll be one teammate who's way too into Caitlyn's pep talks, like, yes preach. Meanwhile, someone else is sitting there thinking, why is my rookie teammate telling me to run suicides? That's the Caitlin Clark experience, part player, part coach, and possibly the beginning of a whole new WNBA role. And here's the wild part, what if it works? What if she nails the play calls, manages the minutes like a pro, and leads the Fever to a win over Angel Reese and the Sky? You know what that means, right? She's now in charge of everything. Next game, she's not just coaching, she's doing payroll, designing the jerseys, and maybe even driving the team bus. But if it all crashes and burns, if the Fever lose in dramatic fashion and Caitlyn ends up coaching her own meltdown live on air, well, congratulations. You're watching the most iconic blooper reel in WNBA history.
So, lads, this is not an ideal situation. It is not an ideal situation at all for the Indiana Fever. There are some positives, there are some negatives. However, Stephanie White, as of right now, is currently looking like she may not be there tomorrow in Chicago for the game.